And thanks. Well, she just talked about protesters and being arrested, and a couple of students from Kent State sure got a tough lesson in journalism while covering the Republican National Convention.
The aspiring news reporters got in the middle of a protest, and those reporters were arrested. News Channel 5's Jonathan Costin says the students spent several hours locked up.
The arrested students called their New York jail Guantanamo on the Hudson. Kent State University students Nick Gehring and Beth Rankin were in New York to cover the Republican National Convention for their school paper. But the two got too close to the protesters. Over the phone, Beth Rankin shared her experience.
I was corralled by riot police into, they came down both ends of the block and blocked us in. They pushed us all into one big group of people, started snatching people and arresting them. A couple of people were beaten.
But somehow in the melee, the reporter managed to get a call to her fellow students at the Daily Kent Stater newspaper.
Beth called once she had the handcuffs on. She dug her cell phone out of her book bag with her teeth, and that was the last time we had talked to them that night.
Beth says she was handcuffed for about 6 hours, hauled to a filthy makeshift jail that used to be a bus terminal. She became worried about her health.
So I have asthma, and earlier this summer I had surgery where 8 ribs were removed from my right side, and both of those things made it hard to breathe, plus the fact that we were breathing in all the chemicals.
Her ordeal hasn't dampened the spirits of her classmates wanting to be reporters.
But I always keep focused on the path of, being a journalist is an honorable position. So
A professor says his students were certainly mistreated, but
it's a hazard of being a reporter. You get close to the action, you're liable to get arrested. It's one of the risks that you take.
Now, Beth Rankin says because of her medical condition, she needed some medication, but she was denied medical attention. Now, in all, she says she was locked up for about 31 hours. Now, during that time, she says she was offered a rotten apple to eat and half of a cheese sandwich that was given to her by one of her jailmates. Now, she's expected to be back home in Ohio in a couple of hours. Reporting from the Akron Beacon-Journal, Jonathan Costin, News Channel 5.
Jonathan, she wasn't charged with any kind of criminal misconduct, was she?
Well, she says she's unclear about that. She says her classmate was just sent home, and she says she had a little note to return to New York back in October. Now, she's unclear as to whether or not she'll have a warrant out for arrest and officially charged with something. She says she's given that little document to the university attorney.
Sounds like there's going to be a follow-up to this story.
Exactly.
Jonathan Costin in Akron, thank you very much.